Hi friends, today we'll discuss on a special topic. Today is a special day, World Day for Safety and Health at Work 2021. In April 28, this day is observed. The World Day for Safety and Health at Work is celebrated every year on this day, that is 28th April, to promote the prevention of occupational accidents and diseases globally. The COVID-19 pandemic has led governments, employers, workers, and the general public to face unprecedented challenges in relation to the virus and the many effects it has had on the world of work. The World Day for Safety and Health at Work will focus on strategies to strengthen national occupational safety and health systems to build resilience in order to face crisis now and in future, drawing on lessons learned and experiences from the world of work. We need to assist on such endeavors, anticipate, prepare, and respond to crisis. Invest now in resilient occupational safety and health system. Today, I want to share my thoughts on a special topic, that is occupational safety and health, how occupational safety and health can help in promoting social well-being. Promoting and sustaining social well-being through best practices on health, safety and environment. To start with that, let us first know what is well-being. Social well-being is already a part of health as defined by WHO. World Health Organization has defined health as a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So social well-being is a very important part in one's health. To discuss on social well-being, we'll first discuss a little bit on well-being. Well-being is connected to positive thinking, feeling, emotions and moods, life satisfaction, happiness with fulfillment and functioning well for self and others. So it integrates physical health and mental health with positive approach to disease prevention and health promotion. Results from longitudinal, cross-sectional and experimental studies show that well-being is connected to healthy behaviors, longevity, social relationships and productivity, self-perceived self-perceived health condition and self-care, as well as factors in social environment, for example, loss of green space. It may be of various types like physical, psychological, social and economic. Physical well-being reveals feeling healthy and full of energy and other aspects of subjective well-being. Similarly, social well-being, which we are now discussing, social well-being points out development in three basic areas. First, fulfillment of basic human needs like food, clothes, shelter. Then, getting good scope to live peacefully in social settings. Getting good scope to live peacefully in social settings, enjoying human rights. So these things are very important. Getting good scope to live peacefully in social settings, enjoying human rights, and continuously getting scope for personal development and helping others to develop and fulfill purpose of life. So these three factors are very important. In Maslow's famous hierarchy of needs, in the bottom two levels, we find the primary needs are psychological needs and safety needs. So food, clothes and shelter, that is our roti, kapda and makan as we say, are basic physiological needs. Basic physiological needs to keep good health. We cannot blame a person for getting good health as living happily and peacefully in social settings. At times maybe beyond his or her personal capabilities. So society and local government are responsible for a variety of roles to offer for right education and other infrastructural facilities for decent living in any community. So people may flourish when they get opportunities for improvement and can fulfill their purpose of lives. Of course, Everyone has certain roles to fulfill. They can live peacefully in social environment, cooperating with each other. This necessitates care for each other, care for environment, which assists us to live well and grow together. Japanese Ikigai culture shows how people care for each other and strengthens the social bonding to live longer, being healthy, happy, and peaceful. I was really wondered while I was reading the Ikigai book. I read it 2 3 times in English as well as in Bengali. And I really feel that Japanese people take so much of care for health and they live, that is why they live for many years. The longevity level is very high. Most of the people who live beyond 100 years are from more from Japan. Facilities for healthcare services, primary and secondary education are treated as important aspects for human development and growth. So health should be given the primary importance for the need of survival. Awareness will improve health. So social well-being, the SCB, is identified by WHO as a central component of individual's overall health. Social anxiety deteriorates health condition, as we all know. We are basically social creatures and live together, clustering in different areas with family and friends. To be connected to other people is our natural instinct. Our health is influenced by quality and quantity of our support networks and social connections. So this SCB, social well-being, is an end state with these basic minimum needs. It is an end state, just keep in mind, in which these basic minimum needs are met and people are able to coexist peacefully. This is very important. These people should be able to coexist peacefully in communities with a lot of opportunities for development in various aspects. Equal access to and delivery of basic needs indicates, but not limiting to, water, food, shelter, and healthcare services, with provisions of primary and secondary education and other allied social infrastructure and services for development in various fields like sports, research. So it is social dimension of health. It is the ability to initiate and maintain meaningful positive social relationships and regular contacts with other people like family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, maintaining acceptable standards. Good health means people should be interested to make more friends, enjoy the relations, be happy and keep others happy. The whole society should grow happily together. We build good health by interacting with people around us and being happy and energetic, working and living together, not simply by getting away from diseases. Good relationship exists for long. Your sudden acquaintance with someone in your teenage may grow and you may enjoy the relationship for months and years, helping each other with mutual consents and positive desires. All friends may not turn to be best friend or life partner, but all good relationships pay considerably in the long run. Social relationship, keep in mind, is very important. It adds to our longevity. You enjoy even talking to good old friends over telephone and increase your happiness quotient. Good friends mostly remain good friends. Distance cannot fake away the strength of relationship. Rather, it strengthens the bonding. If you have strong desire to talk to your friend, if it comes in your mind repeatedly, it is good. As it means you are fully living. You are not living alone. If you are totally pessimistic and do not want to talk to anyone and always want to stay alone, being confined in your room, it means your mental and social health is drowning. A connected person is a supported person. Social intelligence factors like emotional intelligence, moral code, ability to adapt, mainly strong desire to be connected to people of varied cultures, geographic areas, colors, caste and gender, age, support people to be living happily together and enjoying everyday life. Every moment should be important. Qualities like agreeableness, altruism, openness, help in social intelligence like freedom, trust, fairness for equal rights, personal values and virtues, beliefs, traditions, and lifestyle. No one can live alone. No one can break the cycles of mutual dependence. We are mutually dependent social creatures. We want to love and be loved and live happily together. The natural instinct strengthens our bonding and social relations. The social relations affect physical and mental health by releasing in body various positive hormones in various conditions and strengthen social connections by desiring to get the charm of repeated happy moments to live together while in the long run. Determinants of personal well-being not only indicates genes and personality, age, gender, but also extends to works, working environment, relationship with colleagues. Workplace well-being plays a major role for individual well-being, an entire gamut of social well-being. It relates to factors like occupational health and safety, work life, workplace conditions, working environment. So OHS, occupational health and safety, indicates necessities for organizational care for employees, work life and family life balance so that employees happily want to return to duty next day and contribute better than what is expected from them. A happy worker is a productive worker. Keeping employees happy, organizations develop, social capital improves. If employees' engagement level is increased due to better care of employees, organization may get more than 100% benefits than what is spent for the employees. Organization gets more benefit than that of the employees. A simple change of duty time of giving facility to work from home may show miraculous results. This is an example. So organization thus must complement OHS necessities, ensuring safety of workers, their good health by providing good quality drinking water, subsidized canteen facility, keeping working environment, working conditions free of dust and obnoxious fumes, offering challenging jobs with training so that employees can learn and be enriched while working and their engagement level continuously improves. Society and the government must offer necessary infrastructure facilities for health screening, arranging more number of beds in hospitals and provisions of medicines to cope up with the emergency situations as arising out of COVID-19. Government must follow ILO and WHO guidelines and also other United Nations organizations norms to ensure healthy and peaceful living of people in the remote village areas. Political struggle and rivalry between states must not interfere human rights anyway. Planning for better educational institutions, sports grounds and allied infrastructures, better road conditions with separate pathways for pedestrians and cyclists, making more green areas, making more green spaces must get due attention in annual plans. Interstate contest for clean and green city, smart city should be organized to bring down the environmental impact in cities and towns. So these are few examples how the social well-being can be developed with the help of not only people but by the society and the government. So people should be smartly forced to work more to block by blocking reasonably some areas of the busy roads so that people are required to walk more. That will be good for their health. Use more public transport to bring down the carbon footprint, of course with due regards to safety of people. Thus, organizations and government can jointly play a vital role to develop safety and health of people while taking care for environment, where every stakeholder will happily like to provide their best supports. So let us all, people, society, organizations and the government jointly try to uplift the standard of social well-being and make this world a better and safer place to live in. Thank you.